before we're incarnated, we have like a team of us and our very best friends, and we're all on the other side, and we're saying, okay, we're going to do a human life. Who's going to go in? Who's going to be the one that's going to be in the body, and the rest of us will be the support. And so the ones are here, the ones that said, okay, it's me, I volunteer, I will be the one in the body. So whoever that is, you become the team captain, and you come down and you get embodied, and all your best friends are there helping you to make the life happen. But it's just like in a game, the team captain has to make the call. So the shift it's a shift in consciousness. And I think that is the first main thing to understand, is a lot of people get confused because we have heard so many different things in our spiritual circles and communities about that, is it the earth? Are we going to a different planet, or are we going from, one location to another location? And the answer is no, it's an internal change of perspective. And so, but it is driven by the earth. So the earth is she is a soul all on her own, and she is going through a shift in consciousness. So the earth is in the process of rising. And so there will be things around us that are changing, and all of the dormant energies, stuck energies that are in the earth need to come up to the surface to be healed so that she can transform, which is why we see all this chaos on the planet right now, and why that chaos is going to intensify. So it's because she is just like the same way we heal by having emotion rise to the surface to be seen, and we work with it and we integrate it. That's exactly what's happening for the earth, same process. So that is what's happening outside of us. But then inside of us, we are also, if we want to continue to reincarnate here on earth, if we want to continue our journey here on this planet, we have to raise our vibration to be in alignment with what the earth's vibration will become. So it's wild to think about, but we are the first generation, or first era of humans that have been born with two aspects of our soul inside of us. So we have if you want to call it the 3D version of ourselves, which is what we are expressing now. And this version of ourselves is our soul song. So everything that makes up you, all of your experiences, all of your memories, everything you've ever been, done, said, or known, all fit within this one octave. And this is your current soul song, and you're in the octave of 3D. So imagine this octave is sort of playing a range of, let's call it emotions. Say that you're playing in the range between shame and exuberance, right? Or absolute joy. Like this is the range of emotions that you are singing this soul song in this range. And when we go through the flash of light, this giant flash, and we're already being like, the more light is coming to the planet, it's affecting the earth, it's helping her to rise, but we are also getting lifted. But there will be one big flash of light that's coming, and that will be a huge opportunity for us to make a major shift. And what that will look like for many people will be the blossoming of this inner aspect of us, which is our same soul song. It's still us, same memories, same personality, but it'll be you switched to a higher octave. So imagine we're here right now playing our soul song at one end of the piano. We're playing down here in all the heavy notes, and then we move to a higher place on the piano. We're playing the same song, right? You can play chopsticks down here, or you can come up and play chopsticks up here. That's what we're doing. We're playing the same song, but we're playing it in a higher perspective. And so it's a little bit like imagine, the best way I can describe it is, imagine your worst day when everything seems like it's going against you, and it just seems like everywhere you go, the rain clouds are following just you. Like that's where we are in terms of a lower vibration. But then there's a day where you wake up and everything, you get every green light in every parking spot, and everything's working for you. And it's the same you haven't changed. It's just you are before in a lower octave, and then you move to a higher octave. So that's one way we can understand it, that you can have such a different experience of living within the same body. But imagine this is going to be another level yet on top of it. And so it will be a total shift in perspective, which is largely driven by the fact that we will be opening up to a sixth sense, a new way of experiencing our world. So the way I usually think about that is that we have the five senses, which is, smell, touch, taste, And they're powerful. They give us a lot of information. But would you say that our sight gives us more information than, say, for example, our touch? So a sight, we just get a lot more data. Well, our sixth sense, if you imagine the delta between touch and sight, it's like sight gives like this much more information. I'm trying to stay in the screen here. It gives a lot more information than touch. Well, imagine our new sixth sense will give 10 times more than that. It will be an exponential amount of information that we get from the new sixth sense, to the point where it will dwarf the five senses. And it will tell us all about each other. Like when we talk, right now we talk and I'm using all of my awareness. I'm using my sight to understand you, my ears. But in the new reality, I will feel what you are feeling. I will immediately know how my words are landing for you. I will know immediately everything that you are bringing to the conversation. So it will change our world. That one thing will change everything about our world, because all of a sudden we will care about each other in a much deeper way. That people will feel that the plague of our time, which is loneliness, that goes away because you feel seen, you feel understood. There's no way we can have inequality anymore, because you would never think of existing in a circumstance where one person had too much and the other one didn't have enough, because we would care about everyone equally. So it opens the door to peace on earth. It'll be an amazing time.
Okay, so this shift of consciousness is going to happen suddenly, or it's a gradual? And if it's gradual, what's the time frame for this about?
And that is a individual answer, because there'll be multiple waves of people moving into the higher state of consciousness. So there's lots of people who are raising their awareness right now, but none of us are officially in that new state yet. We will get there. There's lots of people who are like rising, but none of us are officially there yet. But there will be waves of us. So, and there's no judgment. And if you're the first to go or the last to go, no judgment. It is based on just what's best for your soul journey. But so for some people, the flash of light will come and they'll be lifted up in the flash of light, and they will, as the angels say, they will move through the doorway. And I have dreamt about it. I've had multiple dreams showing me the move going across and what it feels like. And they've even showed me dreams where I'm reaching back across and pulling other people with me. It's incredible dreams. I've had multiple now. But there will be other people who may come in the second or the third wave. It may be that they still have work that they need to complete, things that they want to finish. Because the reality that we're in right now, it may not seem fun to be in a karmic world where we have to face ourselves and we have suffering and we have trauma and we have all this stuff, but it is one of the best ways to learn about our soul. And so some souls at the higher self level may say, let's wait a little bit and get the most out of this life and then go in a few years. And that's okay if that's the case. So, but for that interim period, we will all go through a space where reality is going to look really, really different. Some people will start seeing angels. The veil will become very thin for some people. And so yeah, I think it's with the flash of light, it raises the energy enough that it becomes a game changer for everyone. And then at that point, some people will have made the transition entirely, and other people will be working towards making the transition.
Mm-hmm. But some people are already making a transition, like you, for example, or other teachers. Do you feel like you're in a different dimension, the fifth or sixth dimension?
Well, thank you. I can say for myself that my journey has been, the changes, especially lately, have been amazing, and it's been an incredible process. But I know that, and the angels have specifically said, yeah, we can't get there yet because we haven't created it yet. That the new reality will come from inside of us. And so they say what will happen is that the first wave the flash of light will help us, give us the boost that we need to get to this sort of the opening of the door. And then we will go through to the other side. And they've described the entire process, and it will be like being in a cocoon. And they said that it will be that we will separate from our karma, that our bodies will get heavy and we're meant to lay down and rise up from this karma. And then they said that once we are through and we get to the other side, and the angels will usher us all the way through. So they'll be taking care of us. Like, people don't have to worry about, like, what if I'm on an airplane, or what if my dog needs to go out, or what, like, it'll be all right. Just let go, just be, and allow and trust that everyone is having their own experience. But once we get to the other side, then they said we will come out on the other side and it will be like we have brain fog. It'll seem like fuzzy, almost like waking up from, from having been under some sort of surgery or something, where you're just kind of fuzzy. And they said that's not because we have brain fog. It's because the new reality is only partially formed, that it has to emerge from inside of us. And so it will become more clear and more defined the more present we are within it.
You say the other side. Do you mean that we're going to all die and then we're going to wake up in heaven? This is going to be our awakening, or we're going to experience it here?
Yeah, no, that's what's amazing. It's not death. A lot of people wonder because it sounds like death, because death really is just a transition. But no, we will come out the other side. We will still have our physical bodies. Our physical, once we rise to the new state, our physical bodies will change, in the sense that anything that was a karmic wound or illness will heal itself. Not instantaneously. It will be like, almost like, imagine that the body is constantly trying to move into a state of perfection. But we have a record player playing in our mind that is saying, I'm not good enough, I am whatever, all these things wrong with me. And we play this record player over and over and over again. And we're sending that message to the body, and we're blocking the body from coming into perfection. Once we go through the shift in consciousness, we separate from our karma, we separate from all that negativity. All of a sudden, the body is freed to regenerate itself into its perfect harmonious self. And that doesn't mean we will reverse aging, unfortunately. Wouldn't that be nice? But no, we will still be old, but we won't have the sort of karmic illnesses that we've manifested in the body. So, which could be all kinds of things, anything. They said that it doesn't mean that we are invulnerable. Like, in the new reality, it's still possible to trip over a rock and break a leg, but it's not karmic. It won't be a thing where we've judged ourselves and created an illness in the body. All of that will be healed, which is pretty amazing.
Yes, so this is an amazing time for us, that we are lucky we live in this specific frame of time and history, that we can be in 3D and then we can move into the 5D.
Yes. Yes, it is. That's the thing that makes this so miraculous, is to embody two states in the same body. It's like, that's never been done for us. So to go, and we currently have, if you want to call it 3D, 5D, whatever names you want to give it, you could say we are embodying right now the 3D version of us. And inside of us, there is this other part, which is waiting to blossom. And it'll blossom when the vibe on the planet gets high enough. And then that will rise up from inside of us. And it will be like going from having a really bad day to having a really, really good day. That just goes on and on.
Yeah, it's like through pain when we suffer. We don't want to suffer, but when we suffer, we learn and we wake up. And also it's a contrast. We learn through contrast. Let's say you see something dark and then you see the light, and then you appreciate it. You went through some pain and you appreciate the regular you when you didn't have no pain. You were not happy, you were not amazing, but you had no pain. You felt normal.
Yeah.
So, are you talking about this flash of light? Can you explain to my viewers exactly what is this flash of light?
Yeah, so the flash of light is what the angels have specifically said is that this is a solar energy. They didn't say which sun, they just said solar. So it could be from our sun, it could be from Betelgeuse, which is a lot of astronomers have been talking about this. Scientists have been talking about that there's a star called Betelgeuse, just like the movie, but spelled differently, and that it supernovaed. In our time, it would have happened about then somewhere in the 1400s, most likely. But light has to travel from where it was located, way out in space. It has to travel to us, and it is far enough away that supernova that happened back in the 1400s is almost to us. And they've said we could see it any day now. It could be any time, which is like pretty much coinciding with what the angels are saying about the flash of light. And even the astronomers have said that when it comes, it will be like nothing we've ever seen. And that matches. The angel said the flash of light will be, they said it's the moment we will look back on and say that everything changed. So that it is the definitive moment. There's no chance we would have missed it. There's no chance it's already come. They said it will be so distinctive that everyone will agree that was the moment that everything changed. They've described it as rainbow starlight. They said it will be like having two suns. So I'm not quite sure what that means, but I get the idea. When they gave me a visual of it, what I saw in my mind's eye was what looked like two suns, almost like there's something in the sky as bright as the sun. And then there was like what looked like, they called it rainbows, but when I looked at it in my mind, it looked like arcs that were sparking, which is very odd. Like just in the air around you, be like sparks, like almost like if you think of like the Tesla coil and how there would be two things, and then all of a sudden it would be like they would be connected, and it would hold this connection and then dissolve, like popping. I saw those like everywhere, all around me. And so I don't know, like, if that's what it will look like, but that's the visual they gave me, was these sort of arcing sparks all throughout, everywhere. So, I mean, very unmistakable, very unmistakable.
Yeah. So right now, I personally feel it because I have a little bit of high blood pressure sometimes. I feel it when there's a solar flares activity is happening.
Yes.
Is this also related to the shift, solar
I
flares?
believe so, that yeah, there's no accidents. And the angels even said, they talked about that we would be receiving more and more light. And light is consciousness. That there is a direct correlation, like the amount of light that's hitting the planet, it is affecting our consciousness. And I know a lot of people that feel like they have grown enormously recently. And that's going in line with, like, look at, we are in this solar maximum where the amount of energy that's hitting the planet is incredible right now. And yeah, it's definitely affecting people. And I know people are going through and having all of a sudden awarenesses come in about lifetime childhood patterning that all of a sudden becomes clear. They suddenly see, and they're able to make sense of these entrenched issues so absolutely we are raising our vibration. And that
Yeah.
is how we raise our vibration, is we come to terms with, we integrate the parts of ourselves, the feelings, the experiences we wish we never had, the things that we are in resistance to about who we are. And we accept them. And when we remove resistance, more light can come through, and our vibration goes up. Yeah.
Okay, so coming back to the Earth rising, the Earth is also called Gaia, if I'm not mistaken.
Hmm.
Okay, so this is a period in history when Gaia, Earth is rising, shifting. It's like another breath for the
Yes.
eternity, taking breaths in, taking breaths out. It's now
Yeah.
it's a breath in. We all have to rise together with this breath in. So this is what's happening.
I love that you asked that, because I agree with you. Everything can be related. All of, like, our understanding of how the universe works can always come back to our breath. Like, everything that is true in the body isn't true for the planet, is true for the universe, is true for everything. And there is that sense of the in breath and the out breath. And I believe where we are right now in our breath as Earth and as our solar system is that we are at the end of an in breath and we're beginning our out breath. So we have expanded. So if you think about the cycle that we've been on, if you've ever heard of the Yuga cycle,
That's what I was
or
going to
the
mention, the Kali Yuga. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. It's exactly that. And I love that so kind of, for the people that don't know, for people who are your regular
Yeah.
viewers, there's an idea of, and the number of exact years is debatable.
I think
There's
it's
people have different answers.
24,000 or something.
Yeah,
24,000.
around
Yeah.
24,000. Some
Yeah.
people say
Yeah.
25,602. You
Hmm.
hear different numbers, but it's
Yeah.
around 24,000, which lines up with also the 24,000 years of the astrologies, the processional calendar of the 12 signs, each, like, we just moving out of the age of Pisces into the age of Aquarius for another 2,000 years. So you hear this 24,000 year theme again and again, and different from different traditions and different ways of wisdom. We hear this same concept of 24,000 years. Well, my understanding is that it is a a process that we are moving. So, and this we could talk about this forever. So it's so interesting. But up until for the first half of that 24,000, that is like an inhale where we are expanding. And the inhale is where we express our masculine energy. We are both have masculine and feminine energy inside of us. It's not male or female. It's man. It's more like yin and yang.
Yeah.
The inhale is where we are expanding. We are taking up space. We are using our energy to push our lungs out. And it is about bringing things into us. It's about collecting energy, collecting air inside of us. So this is an expression of our male energy. And we have been on this path of expressing humanity through our masculine energy for the last 12,000 years. And that is now peaking into a place where we are out of balance, where our societal structures have become more about polarity, about collecting resources into the hand of the few as opposed to the many, and been more about more structure and more. And when anything in its exaggerated state, it becomes less of a blessing, and you get more of the downsides, And we're in that state right now where we're out of balance, too far into our masculine energy, and that is at the peak, the top of the inhale. And so now we reverse, and we will start with the exhale, which is where we relax, where we let go, where we release, where we diffuse everything, all the energy that we've accumulated, that we brought in. We will now relax and let that, just like a breath, we bring it into lungs. When we exhale, it circulates out into the body, and it feeds all the way out to your fingertips. So that is the stage we're moving into, is the idea, great, we've collected all this knowledge, all this power, all this humanity's growth, all of it. And now we will exhale and distribute it out into unity, into everyone. So that is, absolutely. Exhale, inhale. And I believe we are just beginning our exhale.
Yeah. We can even go by the time frame. Let's say from the time of Jesus to 2000, there was a big inhale, and right now 24 years, exhaling. We're going, great. What's going on here? I don't know what's going on, but something is happening.
Yeah.
But how do regular people, regular folks like me who don't know anything, how do they embrace this and make this transition really smoothly?
Oh, great question. The biggest thing is for everyone, regardless of like if whether somebody has been on their journey for 20 years or they've just gotten turned on, whether they just woke up and they're just, and I love that stage when you just wake up and you're like reading everything and you're voracious and it's fun, it's so great. And so it doesn't matter. All that matters is that you have woken up. And so the person who wakes up, the way I define that is whether or not someone has woken up is when they start to understand or see the world as an expression of who they are on the inside, as opposed to the world as something outside that is happening to them. It's switching from the world is happening to me versus the world is happening for me. So all of our perspective shifts to this idea that whatever is happening in our world is information about what I'm holding inside of me. And so my journey becomes about trying to understand myself and why am I creating this? What about me is creating this experience that I'm having? So when everybody who's watching you right now is on that journey, we've made that leap of that waking up and seeing ourselves as the reality creators that we are. So once we're there, what the biggest thing we can do, what the angels tell us to do is as these energies are coming in, is release and allow. And they will say that in 5 million different ways. It is release our attachment to the way things are, release our attachment to our expectations of what things have to be. And so that might be, think about, is there anything in your life that you're very dug in on, that you're like, okay, I really need my life to turn out this way. My life, I need to have, 2.4 children, and I need to have a house with a white picket fence, or I need to go to medical school, or I need to, whatever it is, like whatever whatever we're attached to. They say be in a position where it doesn't mean you can't have it. It means you have to be willing to let it go. We have to be in flow, and anything we're clinging onto puts us in resistance. So we have to get to this space of releasing, letting go, and then allowing ourselves to be carried. And so it doesn't mean that we don't still have that we aren't still the navigator of our lives. It's super important for us to understand that we are meant to be the team captain of our life, that we have all this divine support. I always talk about it like before we're incarnated, we have like a team of us and our very best friends, and we're all on the other side, and we're saying, okay, we're going to do a human life. Who's going to go in? Who's going to be the one that's going to be in the body, and the rest of us will be the support. And so the ones are here, the ones that said, okay, it's me. I volunteer. I will be the one in the body. So whoever that is, you become the team captain, and you come down and you get embodied, and all your best friends are there helping you to make the life happen. But it's just like in a game, the team captain has to make the call. You have to say, this is the play we're going to play. And if the team captain makes no call, the team just sits around and twiddles their thumbs. And so lots of people will be on their journey and be like, I keep asking for help. I don't know what to do. And they won't tell me, what is my purpose? Just tell me my purpose. And your team is waiting around saying, please just make a decision.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
so, but yeah, so the release, allow, and yet still we have to be open to choosing. We have to choose and then release, allow. Yeah.
Yeah. This is the best analogy about the pre-planning of birth I heard, because I spoke to a lot of near-death experiencers, and some people they had this pre-birth planning, but you said it, okay, a group of friends saying, okay, who's gonna go first? I want to go. I'm eager. I want to go and ascend. I want to learn. And you go, and we're gonna be with you all the time. We're gonna be your guides, my friend. Go, go, go.
Yes.
Do you feel this group of friends around you? And
Yes, I do. I do. I've actually had one of the most beautiful experiences of my life was deep in meditation one time. And something happened, something shifted. It's the one time that they parted the veil for me. And I saw in my mind's eye, they literally pulled it like a curtain, like this. And then three angels came around. And they filled me with the most incredible sense of love. It's like nothing I've ever felt. And it was the awareness that I loved them and they loved me so deeply that it was like, these are friends. There's not a big enough word to encompass like how dear they were to me. And the amazing thing is that in that moment, I had zero memory. I couldn't tell you their names. No memory of how I did, like, couldn't remember like times we had pizza together, nothing. Like I had no memories. All I knew was the feeling I had about them and the recognition. Like as soon as I saw them, it was like, oh, these are my friends. It was like, oh my gosh. And yeah, and I know they're with me all the time. And I have the mother of creation and she's right there. And so, yeah, and there's been different beings at different times who step in and who are with me. And yeah, it does always feel like the veil is so thin, like they're right there. And that's much more present for me, I think, than it ever has been. Yeah.
yeah, that's an interesting analogy with the veil. I saw the picture. I think I even had it on my wall. It was like a calendar, and the person is just putting the veil and looking over there, and it's a completely different world.
Yeah.
But it's interesting when you start to awaken, you start noticing these little paintings. You start choosing different kind of art. You have different tastes. You know.
I agree. Yeah, that you start wanting to surround yourself with things that are of a higher vibration, things that
Yeah, yeah.
inspire you.
And the
Yeah.
music and the
Yeah.
music, the affirmation, the people you want to talk to, even the videos you watch. And
Yeah.
it's all selective. It's not like, okay, I'm better than everybody, so I'm going to be, a perfect human being. No, it's just this is what your heart desires. This is what you want. You
Yeah,
know.
it's what feels comfortable. It feels happy to be around. So like sort of like I've been building a list over the years of movies that are mainstream movies that are good, good movies, good TV shows, whatever, but that are spiritual in nature, that are uplifting, that are not, and it's because it gets to be hard to find. There's so
Right.
many shows that are built on the premise of fear or that have
Right.
so much
Most of
gratuitous
them, most of
violence.
them. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Most of them are targeting, the fear emotion, because this
yeah,
is what people want to see. But yeah, there is a number of good movies. You have to be very selective. Um,
yeah.
you remember the film with Robin Williams, Dreams May
Yes,
Come? You remember that one?
yes,
Yeah,
yeah, absolutely.
it was back in the 90s. It was so new for people, 97, I
Yeah.
believe. But I remember watching this movie. I said, yeah, yeah, I recognize all this. It was so amazing to me. But let me ask you, Anne, how regular folks can contact their friends on the other side? I mean, this group of angels.
Yes. Yeah. Great question. The the one of the biggest things I would say that is most people, and it's funny because there's no rule book. No one gives us this information, when we're born or whatever. We have to find it somewhere. But it is important when you're speaking to your angels to speak out loud. And that is a key. A lot of people don't know that. They think they can pray silently in their head and that the angels can read their thoughts. But the key is, it's a part of respecting free will, is that we have a lot of thoughts, but how many are we really committed to, right? And once we say it out loud, it's like making a commitment, to a reality. Our words form things. And so then at that point, the angels can take action. So if we could be thinking it in our head over and over and over and over again, but unless we verbalize it, then you got to say it, then they can take action. So that is key. And then another thing I would say is that the angels, they're part of our journey. They're part of our experience. They're living with us, and they're our guardians of our souls. They're helping us to form our reality. So they're deeply invested in what we are experiencing. And so they want to be on the team, and they don't want to be put on a pedestal. So if you think about that, if we are super reverential and we're just like, oh, angels or whatever, like it makes a distance between us and them.
Yeah,
We never can feel comfortable with them. And so they don't want that. They want to be
yeah,
down where we are so
yeah,
that we can really be close, so that we can feel like the same way we would with a family member. Yeah.
yeah. Now, you said that we have to speak aloud.
Yeah.
What language do we speak? I speak four languages. Which one do I repeat? It's
I
easier
think
for
you
you.
picked.
It's easier for you. You speak English. You think English. You grow up with English. But I'm from Europe. We speak a lot of languages there.
Yeah, well, so that is what's fascinating is, so when I channel, the angels will use any word I have ever heard in my life. So they
Okay.
will pull words that I frequently end up having to use the dictionary to understand what they're saying, but they will pull words. So you have a four languages to choose from, but it's really about communicating with you. So it's almost like you are the filter. So you can use all four languages and
Yeah.
it would be just fine, because it's really about the way that it encapsulates into form, but it's limited to you and your experience and all the words that you've ever heard. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yes.
how do you address these angels? Do they have names for you, or you just say God? Do they say my friend? How do you address it?
So the very first time I channeled the angels, that there was one angel who gave me a name, and he said Uriel. He said Archangel Uriel. But then he said, going forward, he was not the only angel I would be channeling. He said that they didn't want to give me names because they want me to get comfortable with the concept of a unified consciousness. And so they went on to explain that they are an essence, that angels are in essence sort of like, the way I think about them is a little bit like what we hear the physicists describe as dark matter. The dark matter is everything that isn't something is dark matter, right? You look out into space and all the blanks they call dark
Yeah.
matter. That's how I think of angels, that they're everything, that they're in everything, around everything. They're all around us all the time.
Okay.
And that every molecule of angelic essence contains all the information of all angels, just like every cell in our body contains all the information of the whole. And so within that unified consciousness of angels, there are all of the different angels that we talk about. There's Archangel Michael and Gabriel and Uriel, and all of them are in there. And just like if humanity becomes a unified consciousness, within that unified consciousness will be you and me and every other person, every other personality that's ever been alive, with our separate memories and experiences. But at the same time, if we were unified, I would have all of my memories, but I would also know yours. And so when we call on a particular angel, they can come into physical form. They can show up for you, and they can form like out of the essence. So the way I describe it is, imagine that it's all the essence, angelic essences around us, and we call on Archangel Michael, and he appears right here. Here he is. He kind of forms from the essence around us. And then when he's done, he can dissipate back into the essence.
It's interesting that you said something that is nothing. It's something.
Yeah.
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 That's like a play of words. It doesn't make sense, but it does make sense.
Yeah. Everything
Something
that is
that
nothing
is
is
nothing,
something.
it's still something. Yeah. we like for us, our angels, to see us at our best.
Yes.
But we are not at our best all the time, you know
Yes.
what I mean? So how do our angels looking at us when we're not at our best?
They are so in love with us. Our angels are. They have absolutely no judgment. They see everything we do as a perfect expression of who we are. And so think of it like it's not that they see us as children, but imagine the way you would look at a child, at a toddler. And would you expect that toddler to immediately run a mile? You wouldn't. You would look at everything they did as amazing, like every step they take, every little bit of growth they make. And you know their ultimate destiny. You know that that child is growing. You know eventually they will run a mile. And there's no doubt in your mind that they will. And there's no judgment that they haven't run it yet. As a matter of fact, there's something precious and amazing about their experience as a toddler. There's the wonderment. There's the awe that you get. You know, it's amazing to be about. And so that's how angels see us, is the stage of consciousness we're at right now is incredible. And they love it, and they don't want to miss a moment of it. But do they also see us as we grow and what we will become? Yeah, absolutely. And they have every faith in us. They see where we will go and what we will become.
Yeah, it's a great analogy with a child. You look at his child, and the child is pooping in his in his little pants, and he's barking, he's knocking his head, he's falling down, he's crying, he's complaining, but you still love the child, right?
Yes, absolutely. There's no judgment, right? You feel like, why hasn't
No.
that child toilet trained yet at 5 months
Yeah.
old? Right?
Yeah.
There's no judgment.
Okay, so I'm thinking, well, let me ask you the question that I ask everybody for my show. In my name of my show, it's about Freedom Show. So, what is your definition of freedom, Anne?
Oh, freedom is such a big thing. It is this was really fits for me with my recent experience. I've begun channeling the Mother of Creation, and the Mother of Creation she's all about love and endless compassion, but she is all about freedom. And so she births a soul, and it's let the soul go, let it become itself. And so freedom is, and I felt it so strongly from her, and I feel it in my own life, it's the freedom to become who you are. And so it is that sense of who gives us that freedom, right? Mostly it's us. We allow ourselves to become who we are, and we don't hold ourselves back. We don't try to make ourselves small, right? Freedom is allowing ourselves to become, to express as much of ourselves as we possibly can.
Now, let's talk about your book. I know you have this amazing book coming out right now. It's called What's Coming Next, a channel
Yes.
guide navigating. Yeah, if you can go ahead and talk about it.
Yeah, so this is the cover. This is what it looks like. It's called What's Coming Next.
Yeah.
And it's on Amazon and on Barnes and Noble. Yeah, and it's out, and it is the all of the messages that the angels have given us over the last 4 years that are specifically about the shift in consciousness. And
Yeah.
so it's an easy way for people to kind of get up to speed. It's like a handbook, a guidebook and you can hear it straight from them. And they talk about all the major events, that we can expect and tell us what the future is what's it going to be like. Important information about what we can do during the shift, as well as how we can thrive during some of the more difficult experiences that they've told us about that are coming.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that. And if you can, I'm going to use that in the description, but if you can say the name of your
Yeah.
website and everything, yeah.
Yeah, thank you. So people can find me on my website, which is my name. It's ANNE, AnnTucker.com, or YouTube is the same, also Ann Tucker at YouTube.